Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here. No, look at the audience. And this is the fifth episode of Resident Alien, in which this is more of a comedy of misunderstandings throughout the entire episode. Seems that Harry's having trouble coming to terms with being human, and he's feeling very lonely. Liv, meanwhile, has taken over Peter's podcast, the Alien Tracker. And she's using it in the hopes that it will help her find Robert, Peter's son, who was abducted, from his mother's womb. Now, Harry goes to a local bar where this woman seems to be checking him out. So he goes to talk to her. She's Lydia, runs the bookstore, but Harry, being Harry, creeps her the heck out. So that doesn't work. Then when Asta comes in, he immediately proposes to her, which Asta says no. And after talking, gets him to maybe if he's so lonely, he does have family. There's Bridget, his son. We can try connecting with him. So he goes home to the cabin, where Bridget has some of her alien friends over and they're playing poker. So Harry joins in, and it is a complete fiasco where he ends up kicking them out, and Bridget storms out in response. Now, Asta's father, who runs the diner, he's in a band. And one of his bandmates has gotten him a gig at a festival. Well, it's out of town. He doesn't know if he wants to do that. He's not a young guy anymore, but Asta thinks he really should. She can watch the diner. No, she has already got a job being a nurse at the clinic. So the next morning, she shows up at the diner and demonstrates she can run the diner. She worked there when she was a teenager. It'll be fine. So her father decides to go. But he has a backup plan in this, in that he sends over Asta's daughter, who she gave up for adoption, to kind of look over things, just in case. Which is a good thing, because Asta, her nurse's training is kind of interfering with her waitressing, because she knows everybody's medical conditions and will not take the orders of what they really want if it contradicts what they should have. Harry then tries to bond with his daughter, his son. It gets confusing. Who is in human form. Bridget has a female skin, which she generally uses when she needs to go in the store to get more vapes. Anyways, their fishing goes not too well. They end up arguing, and Harry blurts out he's a human, which Bridget's not down for that and leaves. Although I thought she already knew from the first episode of the season. Oh well. Now, Darcy goes to the pet clinic. Even though Asta does not want a dog, Darcy does. But she's rejected because she's got a bit of a past of drunken escapades. So they're not going to give her a dog, which she's very depressed about. Now, Kate and Ben find out about Liv's podcast and about Robert, and they think maybe they can talk to Liz and she can give them some help too. Maybe they can help her find Robert, and that will help her find her baby. Okay. Meanwhile, the FBI agent, Agent Gardner, has shown up and said that it's looking like the serial killer has moved on, and so she's closing the investigation here. At which point, Sheriff Mike blurts out about the mantid, And of course, he's not believed. Then Ben invites Liv to have dinner with him and Kate. Just Liv, not her husband. She tells this to Mike, who thinks he's also been invited, but he's informed he is not, just her. That's a bummer. Let's see, where are we at here? Next, Harry tries to bond with Max, which doesn't go well because Max doesn't see him as an alien anymore, just some old guy. So he kicks him out of his room. And Darcy talks Judy into trying to go and adopt a dog, although Judy comes up with this ridiculous persona and gets rejected. So they go to try and break into the shelter after hours, at which point, through a set of circumstances, Judy gets her arm caught in the night deposit thing in the door, and Darcy ends up breaking a window, which gets an alarm, and they get arrested. Mike crashes the dinner at Ben and Kate's, and now they're not sure what to do because they wanted to talk to Liv alone, not knowing about Mike. And so they keep trying to come up with ideas of what to do to separate them so they can talk to Liz, which turns into a unbelievable bit of misunderstanding between the two of them and arguing until Mike discovers the camera Darcy planted in the house and thinks, uh-oh, they're swingers. At which point, Ben and Kate, they try to get Liv alone by spilling some wine on her shirt. And, oh, we got to take you upstairs. He's like, no, I'm not a swinger. And they're like, what? And then Mike reveals about the camera. They look at the camera and come to the obvious erroneous conclusion that it has to do with the aliens, and blurts out about the Girl Scouts and her abducted son. So now that's all out in the open between those four. Harry, going back to his cabin, finds Peter there, and they talk. They kind of bond as friends, and Peter ends up giving him some helpful advice on being a father to Bridget and how to be a human. And then he leaves saying, he's got to search for his son, who Harry has revealed he was in Las Vegas, but he doesn't know where he is now. Well, Darcy and Judy get released, and Darcy's talking to Asta, and Asta asks her, since she's going to have to make a deposit when she closes the bar that night, if she could make the diner's deposit for her. Darcy agrees and takes the money, at which point she goes to the bar and gets drunk. So much so she passes out on the bar. When she wakes up, she doesn't have the deposit anymore. Don't know if she already made it. Don't know if somebody took it. I'm hoping Judy went and made a deposit for her, or the guy who was behind the bar. Either way, she is distraught, feeling that she's failed again. Harry, taking Peter's advice, is trying to bond with Bridget in a more human way. And then after that, he goes to the diner to get some pie, and he gives Asta a pep talk as she's feeling kind of down. She hasn't been doing well running the diner, but he's like, you're good at things and you're bad at things. Just concentrate on the good things. She thinks that's pretty good advice, and then he suddenly vanishes in mid-bite. What was that? Was Harry abducted all of a sudden? Could be. Yeah. Kind of a okay episode. Not a lot happens. It's more just kind of tying up some ends, getting people together, and mostly just playing a lot of stuff for comedy. But I was hoping for a little more exploration of the Girl Scouts and the Greys, but because of how last week ended. But nope, that's not where they're going. Do want to know what happened to Harry? Hopefully, he hasn't been winked out of existence, as it were. But that's about it for this one. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.